Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome to a very special episode of the Plum Wild podcast. It is the 2024 Spring Fling post race show. It's Wednesday, August 28th. I am Nathan Waddell, and I'm joined in the booth, as always, by my best friend, Damian Kiefer.
Hello. Good morning, chat.
Oh, man. The 17th annual Schaefer's Oil Spring Fling presented by VLR is officially over. Two 40-lap prelims, a 50-lap LCQ, and a 100-lap A main is in the books. What an event. I think it's the biggest event of the year, Let's get into it. So, you were in prelim number one. How did it go for you?
Sunday night wasn't too bad, honestly. We track reset qualifying was 55% per blimp. I practiced for it. I genuinely, no BS, no bananas. Blimp did not fool me. Swear to God. I tested 25, 50, and 75. I didn't test 55, but I did test those, and I knew it was going to be bottom there, and I hit a really good 3 and 4 and missed it 1 and 2. I almost reset, but it depended on how I entered 3, and I hit 3 and 4 pretty well, and I knew that was going to be the more difficult corner to hit, so I said, send it, and I went like a 15-0, and I think Evan was quick time with a 14-9, and I was 11th quick overall, which, hey, I'll take it. Put me starting third in Heat 1. Started third, ran third. It was early heat race. We're all on the bottom. I really had nowhere to go. I wasn't faster than them, and they weren't faster than me, really. We were just all kind of riding. But made the show, started 11th in the feature. Just kind of rode around early. I got to, I think, the 9th pretty early. And I was just pacing myself, riding behind the guys because I knew I was in the show, and that was like the hard part. Like the hard part was just getting to the top 12 there and just kind of riding for me personally. Felt really good. I ran the middle and the bottom a lot more than I thought I was going to, and I felt really good down there, and managed to snag 6th at the end. Just rolling around the hub, just staying out of trouble pretty much.
Yeah, you played it so smart, and I think a lot of that has to do with who you had spotting for you. But yeah. So Evan C wins prelim number 1. You finish in 6th. There was I think Calavoda was saying that he was going to throw us off. He was going to do something to throw us off, and I wasn't really sure what it was going to be. Yeah,
something crazy. And
yeah,
I was
something crazy, and I was like, I had a feeling it was going to be some pre-gen or just something weird, maybe.
Silly
I was
track
like,
settings.
I was thinking, like, dude, the craziest thing you could do is just fucking throw a server up at Charlotte and say, here's the prelims, like.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Change
it was
track.
right. Yeah, so it was pretty interesting to see, and it ended up being kind of predictable whenever he did the pre-gen. It was like, okay, it's just going to start like hot bottom early, middle, and then it just works up. But I think it worked up a little bit better.
Yeah, especially some of those B mains, like in server 1, like the racing in server 1, I felt like it was really good, like throughout the night. Like I felt like Heat 1 and Heat 4 were kind of lackluster, and I think that was the 2 resets he did 50%.
Yeah.
And the other ones he did 55, and the track seemed way better. I don't know why. There's nothing wrong with that. He did 50. It's just I felt like every time he did 50, the track was more one lane dominant on the bottom. But whenever he was resetting at 55, like the racing was really good.
Yeah. It was fun to watch. And it was interesting, like, to kind of get an idea, or it was good for me to kind of get an idea of how server 2 was going to go. So we load into server 2, and he sets us to like 80%, I think, for qualifying, and it was still. Are you good?
Yeah.
It was still hot bottom, but it was a much harder bottom to hit. There was a much thinner line.
Yes.
And I hit it pretty good in 1 and 2. I kind of missed it on entry in 3. I think there was a better set than what I ran out of the ones that CFM had to offer. I think I might have picked the wrong qualifying set with it being that hot bottom, but either way, we ended up. I think I ended up qualifying like what 15th. I think I
15,
qualified.
yes,
I qualified
15th,
15th because
because you
I
were in heat
ran
5, right?
heat five, starting
Yeah,
third, finished
yeah,
third.
15th. Yeah,
Um, I tried to be pretty aggressive there. I went to the top really early just because I wanted to see like if my just you never know like if the pre-gens are going to be any different. And
yeah.
so I went up there and I think I got
You
to
lost
second.
this. Yeah,
But
and
either
you
way,
lost
we
2 spots there. You had to race hard for your heat race.
I did. Yeah, I think honestly I have one of the more stacked heat races.
Said that
I think
tonight.
Augustine, uh,
Mhm.
Caleb Durgan, me, Chase Hardy, like it was a pretty stacked heat race, and I feel bad. My one of my buddies that I hang out with in Gavin Ropchan's Discord, William Findling is his name on iRacing.
Yep.
He was scheduled to start sixth, and his
His
internet went out.
Wi-Fi, his
His
packet
Wi-Fi
lost.
went out, and man, I know he was beat up about that because he didn't get to make any laps, and
I know.
he paid $80. But I mean that's what happens. But um, so my prelim, 40 laps. I started 15th. I think I was just trying to stay out of the mayhem, and there was some shit happening in front of me. Um, I don't. Augustine had to check up for someone, and I checked up, but I put Augustine in the wall. I got killed. Like my
Yeah.
whole rear end of my car was messed up.
You were back to 18th at one point.
Was I really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. I didn't know that. But then
17th or 18th, it was one of those 2,
I
but yeah.
drove up to 10th, I think, and but I knew that the car was killed, so I just drove it as hard as I could. And I may have been able to help, like, hold on to it if I would have just stayed in line. But I
Yeah.
was trying to get more, being aggressive, and ended up finishing 13th. I'm sure everybody has seen that. I may have had a bit of a rage out. Um, we might have beat
You had
the
a little
old
limp biscuit moment, break
dude. It
stuff, you
was it
know?
was a bad day to be a mouse pad. I tell you that. But yeah, that was a little bit embarrassing to do that on stream. But we had over 100 people watching. I think maybe near 140 whenever I was live for the prelims, which was really really cool. So we finished 13th, one spot out. Some notables that didn't even make it into their prelims, so they were just done. I know for a fact Dylan Hauser and Chase Barbara. And Dylan Hauser, I think, must have tapped the wall or something, or didn't like his first lap,
Qualifying?
and then just didn't have enough time to make a second lap in qualifying. So he had to start from the tail, and he almost made the run through there. Chase Barber, I feel like may have gotten taken out in his heat race or something like that. But it was interesting to see two. I mean, we had Chase Barber and Dylan Hauser on the pre-race show, and both of them
Yeah.
didn't make it. So and then Kendall Tucker, Mike Augustine, Desmond Busby, Alex Bergeron are some notable ones that were in the prelim but ended up having to run the LCQ. Um, so yeah, Evan C wins prelim 1, Blake wins prelim 2. I mean, it was kind of like, wow, is it going to be another Evan and Blake show in the spring fling? But then we had the LCQ last night. I was feeling pretty good about it, honestly. Like I was bummed for about half the day on Monday. And then whenever I was able to get home and just make some laps, I started feeling better about it. I was like, man, I feel really comfortable. We're going to be starting outside front row. And so I felt good. And, you know, uh, we line up, and me and Cody Nevin are on the front row. Um, and I'm kind of like, I did get a little bit of like the flutters, you know what I mean? I was like, cause you got to win to make it to the big show. And I
Yeah.
really, really wanted to make it to the big show. I didn't care about the money. So I did get a little bit of flutters, but we got going and felt really good. Kind of just tried to ride behind Cody, get through the like a couple of cautions, let the track work its way up, and I knew I felt so fast. Um, and yeah, hell of a race, Cody. Um, and once I finally got a good enough run and the track was worked in enough. I finally, we started throwing sliders, got the lead, and honestly, I really felt like I could have just pulled away. But I was just trying to search, a little bit here and there, tweak a little, try some stuff, and I was kind of I would pull on them a little bit, and I'd lose a little bit. Um, I got the lead because we were trading sliders, and I had them at the line,
Yeah.
and so it gave me the lead, and so I really feel like I could have won that race, but on lap 23, um, I decided to run a mega slider into one and two because it looked so juiced where I was entering
Yeah.
on that line that I tried, and it just wasn't it. And it allowed Cody to get a monster run on me out of two. He threw the slider in three and four. We traded sliders, and then the next time the caution came out, he had gotten me at the line. And from there, I couldn't get it done. I mean, I was being really aggressive. I think if it was someone that I didn't like as much as Cody, like I like Cody, and if it was someone else that I didn't really care for, I might would have possibly blocked sliders a little bit
Adored.
more. Well, it
Yeah.
was mainly like blocking slide. Like I wasn't
You
trying to
know,
pinch
you
him down. I was letting
yeah,
him, I was letting him throw those bombs on
yeah,
me. Wasn't trying to block or anything. And I think maybe a more aggressive person would have done that, and it might have paid off. I don't know, but we just could never get the lead back, and um, I mean, we gave it our all, and that's honestly, I didn't have any damage that took me out of the leading spot. I didn't get doored out of the lead. I did my best, and it was just kind of on me for not winning the race, and that is why I was so much more calm after that, after not making the show, than whenever I had damage from some wrecks happening in front of me in the prelim, and it ultimately was the reason why I fell out of the top 12. That was why I was so frustrated because I felt like it wasn't really my fault. But regardless, uh, didn't make it. But you made the LCQ. Oh, and Cody Nevin, of course, went on to win the LCQ, and he decided he didn't need the money. He wanted to make the show, and that's exactly what I was going to say. If I won it, so. But then we had the A main right after that. You were in it, starting in 11th. They started the whole deal with some crazy track prep.
burnout. We did burnout
Crazy
for
track
like the first
prep.
10, 15 minutes.
Yeah. And they were
It was really, we did backwards, forward burnouts on the top,
yep. They wanted to get
burning
that
it up.
top very rough. And it was funny that they showed it on the broadcast. Did I tell
I
you
bet.
that? I think I told you that whenever we
Yeah.
were. Yeah, that was
I
that.
think
What was?
Steven said it
Yeah,
too.
yeah. He was like, he's over the mic in the session. He's like, "Oh, they're showing this on the broadcast. Oh, that's hilarious." So yeah, it was cool, like to see them trying something different. Not that that's never been done before, but it was
Yeah.
interesting to see, like, because you knew the Eldora was going to go to the top. You just knew it.
Right.
Um, and
Naturally.
to right, and it
Or the last
still is going to
it's
go
highly.
up there with some bumps, but it would at least uh make it a little bit, you know, tougher to run the top if it's bumpy up there, right?
Right.
Um, what in the world? All right, hold on here. So, anyways, Um, so they did all the crazy track prep. Did that really change your mindset going into the 100 lapper? Were you having any um, thoughts about like what you could change to the car to make it handle better up there?
No.
Okay,
I was ready for it.
you was
I
ready
was just
for it.
it is what it is at that point.
Yeah, yeah. And and ultimately, like you're starting 11th, and it's a long race. Like you can do a
Yeah.
lot of different strategy, and might not even really have to go up that high where those ruts
Right.
are. And to be honest, whenever I was watching the race and I was spotting for you, um, it was it was interesting. Like whenever I don't know if it was just me, whenever I was in the spotting mode, it didn't look like the track was even rough for you. It didn't
No,
look
and
that rough.
it made the cushion, like, build a curb, actually, almost, it felt like, and it felt like like it was in a really easy cushion to hit at one point in time, like
That's
before it got
interesting.
slick naturally. But like
Yeah.
whenever we first were getting up there, like it was like just pedal down, turn on it, drive in on it. Like it was pretty easy to do it. I felt
Yeah.
not easy, but it wasn't like one of those cushions that's gonna grab you. Every once in a while, if you hit it a little weird, it made a bump in like the center of two or one and two. There was one that was probably the only bump out of the top. And then I think later in the race, it was affected more from the ruts rather than early.
Hmm.
But when
Well,
the
I
track
mean,
was juiced,
it,
I
it
think
gets like that anyways at the
yeah,
top, like on the entry of one. But anyways, let's go through kind of recap the A main here. So right off the rip, Evan and Blake, lead the first little couple of laps. Everybody's trying to feel out their cars. Strategies are starting to become apparent. Who's doing what. Um, you know, some people are dropping back. Some people are starting to move up. Right.
yeah,
Um, and it became very clear early on that Logan Herbert was on a mission, and he was not planning on saving at all.
yeah.
He garnered a 5-second lead in a matter of 27, or not 27. It was probably 30 laps. I can't remember the exact lap counter. I meant to write it down, but um, yeah, like he had a 5-second lead, and then this happened. We're gonna go to the Plum Wild moment of the week.
Here we go, chat. Let's check it out.
So this is the Plum Wild moment of the week right here, and you're gonna see Logan Herbert has a 5-second lead. We are about, I think it'll show it on the bottom here, but we're about 25, maybe 30 laps in. And Dylan Wilson is right here, and he is a lap car, but he is the
You're,
last. He's the last car on the lead lap, and Logan Herbert is coming up to try and lap him, right? Because Dylan Wilson is super saving, Logan Herbert is not saving at all. This is how it unfolds. And VLR posted this and wanted to know if the right call was made. So yes, this was actually right at lap 30. And you make the call. Logan Herbert was given an EOL for this. And that has caused quite the stir. A lot of people do not agree with it. What do you think about this, Keith?
he's got 5 second lead. I don't think there's not much other next like calm. You got 5 second lead.
I mean,
We don't need to do that. You got a
yeah.
5 second lead.
I watch it and
It'd be different. It'd be different if you have someone on his tail a second or two.
yeah.
But you have a 5 second lead.
On top of that, like I don't think Dylan Wilson expects that. You know what I mean? Like
No,
you don't,
no.
and you. I mean, he threw it from so deep. Like you said, you have a 5-second lead, and that,
The ignorance there is crazy.
yeah, it's just a little odd to
Ignorant
me. Um,
is what I call it. Not knowing
and to be honest, like
is what that word stands
I
for.
watch it, and and he has a 5-second lead within 30 laps. There is no way
Yeah.
that he was going to win that race. And what I mean by that is there is no way his tires were going to last because clearly he is on an extremely high air pressure to be that much faster because the guys in the top 5 were not super saving like Dylan Wilson was. You know what I mean? Like they were
Right.
going kind of hard.
Yeah.
Then you, with a 5-second lead over some of the best in the world on dirt, you must be on high air, and that is not going to last all 100. And in fact, it didn't. His right rear tire blew with 27 to go. So definitely an interesting situation there. You can tell by about lap 25 in that show, though, that Joey Lingron decided that was his time to go. He started. I think he was in sixth, and then he got fifth, and then fourth, and then third, like back to back to back almost.
Yeah.
He started pushing like 25 laps in, and it was interesting to see that like he didn't really save too much, and he decided
Yeah.
to go on lap 25, and he still ended up winning it. Then there was Jesse Interkin losing his spoiler and going a lap down. I felt bad for him. I know he was super excited to make the main event. It's something he's been trying to do for a while. And if you watch the replay, um, he barely got into the backstretch wall. Like he was just barely scraped it, and it just ripped the spoiler right
Yeah.
off. I felt pretty bad for that. Would piss me off, especially the fact that like you had, and it's happened to me before, where like you have a race that you're in with a bunch of cautions, then the moment that you get damaged and now you need a quick repair, it's going to go green for forever,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And that's exactly what happened. He went a lap down, and then 5-10 laps after he went a lap down, they had a caution. Um, like Majulis was looking really strong until like he was actually probably about to start contending for the lead. And then Colton Herbert, who restarted third. So it was Joey Lingron, Blake Majulis, and Colton Herbert in third. Colton got a decent run off the restart and tried to throw a big slider, either that or just come right up and leave Blake a lane. But he freaking nailed that inside wall and
Yeah.
pushed all the way up the track and basically took Blake out of the race. Like Blake was able to keep going, but his nose was killed. And I think without that damage, I think Blake would have been in very strong contention to win the race. And Evan C definitely was playing the strategy,
Did
and
not work.
it did not pay off. And here's the reasoning for that. You can play the strategy, or at least what I think about it. Right, you can play the strategy in a race like that, but you run a insane amount of risk of exactly what happened to him. You can play that strategy in practice where it's just your guys, nobody's going to run over you. In the 6,000 to win spring fling A main,
Everybody's racing for position
you're
all
not
the
going to
time.
have the same amount of luck, and exactly what he didn't need to happen happened. He got some contact that hurt his car, and now all of a sudden that strategy is out the
Out the
window. You're
window.
playing the strategy to be there at the end, but you got to get to the end, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So unfortunate for Evan that it didn't play out, because I think based on all the practices that I ran with him this week, he was far and away the fastest at the end of the races in the 100 lappers that we did. Want to give a quick shout out to Braden Donaldson making his name known, 14th to 4th. Some people, I know a lot of people don't even know who he is, and the only reason I know who he is because he's on CFM, and he just beat me recently, like a couple weeks ago in Pro Late Models at Eldora. I mean, it was pretty cool to see him go 14th to 4th. Big H, Hayden Tollison, finished second from 20th. That's crazy, isn't it?
That is deep.
And he's just, I don't know, 14 years old, maybe younger. It's an awesome run. Colton Herbert still, despite everything that happened during the race, I think
Yeah.
he went kind of ping pong between the lead and fifth, sixth. He was up there the whole time, but he ended up finishing third. So strong run for him, rounding out the podium, and Dylan Yeager rounding out the top 5 and 5th. And of course, our winner, Joey Lingron, will be joining us here in a minute. Kiefer, how did your race go?
We were good. Did not want to wait around like Evan and them guys did that were waiting at all. And they were in the
I tried to
way.
tell you to be
They were in the
patient.
way.
I tried to
But
tell you to
no,
be
but
patient.
like, so here's the deal. Here's the deal. Who was right?
I mean, yes.
Okay. So next question. Where did the guy that was in the way finish? Oh, he pulled out. Never mind. But it's beside the point. No, we were pretty good. Just got caught up in a few incidents there and got some damage.
Yeah,
Just
and then you
got
got it
I had it.
fixed,
Then
and
I
then
got
you
it
got
fixed. I
damaged
got it
again.
damaged again.
Yeah.
But no, I mean we were really good. Just did not. I knew with I thought that I knew with I knew what the strategy needed to be, kind of. I knew that you could, I wasn't gonna wait around. You needed to get up there, kind of like what Joey did. And lap 25 is when you had to go, and that was when the top was there, and I was wanting to make moves, and the other guys were trying to wait, and I was like, I just wanted to get by. I'm like, if you're gonna pace yourself, let me go,
I
because
think you could
I
have
don't
been
want
more
to wait.
aggressive then. Like
Yeah,
you were. It was
because I
frustrating
was
to
literally pushing
watch,
them. I was pushing them around there, and I'm like having to go half throttle, which is making my race car tight. And like,
but it
if I
was
don't go in there,
it was frustrating to watch because it didn't seem like you were committing to either. You weren't committing to like being aggressive, but you also weren't committing to conserving. And so I was like, kind of like I couldn't really tell you what to do because it didn't. I
yeah.
couldn't say okay, just keep right. Like I was trying to tell you, you got a big gap behind
Well,
you.
every time I got under somebody, I feel like the other person would try to pass the person in front of him, like
Yeah.
with me, and like he would try to mock, follow me, ghost me, and like I couldn't get anything done because he wasn't any better than the guys in front of him that were saving. But it's just is what it is. We
You
were
ended
really good.
up.
We were really good. We finished 15th, but I think I was 11th with 4 to go, like where I
It
started.
got plumb crazy there at the
At
end.
the
It
end,
was
I was
a
running. I
caution
tried to
with
run the
5 to
bottom.
go.
My tire. I was damaged, and I
Yeah.
was left 4 to go. I went to the bottom and said, if I gain anything here, okay. If I lose anything here, okay. Because I think 7th was the next paying more position.
Right, right. So I mean, it
Yeah.
didn't really matter. It was just bragging
No.
rights on where you finished from like 8th
Yeah.
on down. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Were you about ready to bring on our special guest for this
I
episode?
think. I think we are.
All right. Well, we will be right back with our special guest, your winner of the 2024 Spring Fling, Joey Lingron. All right, so we are back with our special guest for this episode, your winner of the 2024 Spring Fling, Joey Lingron. First of all, I just wanted to say congratulations on winning the 17th annual
Thank
Schaefer's
you.
Oil Spring Fling.
Thank you. No, we worked really hard for it. I don't know, Thursday got the call to, run for Tommy and ended up winning the deal. Surprisingly, I had no expectations going into it, but hey, came out a winner.
How about that, man? It's been almost 24 hours. Has it set in that you won the biggest dirt sim racing event of the year?
Not really. We still get the flutters. We still get we're excited about it, but till that check hits the bank, it ain't gonna be real.
Oh, well, I heard that payments were going out today, so it should be, sent your way anytime now. So
Hopefully.
let's go back to 2 weeks ago. You weren't signed up, and then like you
Yep.
said, Kohik wins a free entry. Did you hit him up?
Yeah.
Did he hit you up? What's the story there? How did you end up taking his free
We
entry?
were in Discord. Me and Fergie were in Discord, and he's like, I think he said to contact Tommy, and I did, and told him that he won, and he came in Discord and he told me, he said, "Hey, you want to run? I have no interest in running it." I think that's what he said. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm sorry, Tommy, but no, that's basically what happened. He said, "Hey, want to run?" I said, "Sure." Fergie got all excited about it, for getting jacked over the littlest things. So
That's awesome.
uh, it was very like humbling, and like it got me a little more like respect for the iRacing community
Yeah.
again. We were losing it for a little bit.
Well, Tommy's one of the good ones, I think. He's
Yeah,
always been such a cool dude. He's one of the supporters of my stream, and he's in Jesse's stream all the time. He's just a big supporter of the entire community, so that doesn't shock me at all. But you had already shocked some people in the prelim by
mm.
you won your heat race, right? I didn't
No,
get the
we
chance.
got second to old Matulis,
That's right, that's right.
but
But you
yep,
ended up starting what? That put you starting what was it?
I think
Fifth,
6.
fifth or sixth. Either
Uh,
way, I mean, you started up really, towards the front, and you finished top three in the prelim main. So, and that kind of
yep,
shocked some people. Were you surprised by your own performance? I mean, me and Kiefer, a lot of us in the community know that you're,
Pretty
good
good
in just about
driver.
everything, right? But as a sprint car main, like, did that
yep.
surprise you to run top three in the prelim for one of the biggest races of the year?
I mean, yeah, I did, but it I the amount of laps that we put into it was a very unhealthy amount, and if I was hoping just for a top 5 or a top 12 lock-in, man, but we got the opportunity down the back stretch. I think it was Selby, Casey, and then I think Donaldson. They got into it like lap 30 or whatever, and we went for like a triple car slider, and it actually stuck, but they didn't get it on the broadcast. But we got to like fourth there or third or wherever we got to, and we tried tracking down Colton and Blake, but the pace that they were setting was just torrid, and they were still throwing sliders, and I was inching closer at the end, but we overall didn't have enough at the end. But third, I was happy with a third.
Yeah, because third puts you starting fifth in the 100 lapper, and leading up to the big show, you had the rest of Sunday night, all day on Monday, and then up until the event on or yesterday. How did you feel in practice? How much were you practicing? In between the two shows for the big 100 lapper.
Practice started before even the prelims. We were doing 100 lap runs before even the prelims. I was just hoping that all them practice laps for the 100 lap prelim weren't for naught. And obviously they weren't. Just a lot of practice went into it. Blake, Evan, everybody, like even a couple of guys that were in the LCQ and didn't make it in the LCQ, came in and helped do 100 lap runs, and it was just awesome. The Magilla community is just awesome to be a part of, and the amount of camaraderie around there is just second to none.
I mean, that means a lot, because I mean, you've been on a lot of teams, so like it's got to mean a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
There it was.
I had to
Wow.
sneak that. I'm sorry, I had to sneak that one in there. So another little jab here. Between the prelim and the main, your wrap had a small change to the spoiler.
Lil Weasel, baby, Lil Weasel.
Where did Lil Weasel come from?
Like, every time that I talk some smack to him in Discord, he calls me a Little Weasel, but Little Weasel was a little joke, little joke that Blake had, so had to put it on there just to mess around, have a good one. But no, on the back of it said Sweet Victory for a Sweet Victory apparel, but he changed it to Little Weasel and a little weasel on the back right corner of it.
Yep.
And she came out pretty sick. John Darby, I told Darby and I said, "Hey, can we get this?" And like literally like 2 seconds later, he had it. So it was pretty awesome to have that for the Fling. I forgot the spec map for it, but
Hey, she
was
Darby,
the gold. Yeah, Darby is a quick man when it comes to wraps. He was pumping them out all week. We were taking photos of everybody's Fling car.
Yep. Yeah, and yours, honestly, like the gold on yours just looks so good. It looked like a race winning car.
I told Darby to just don't even take any time on it. Just give me something that's just different for the Fling, and he got it out and he showed me. I'm like, dude, that's badass. The way it was very different from what I usually have.
For sure.
No red.
Yeah.
No red. We were gold for once in our lives. It was actually pretty cool.
Well, okay, then now, you win $6,000 in a gold car for the first time. Is that your new thing now? What are you thinking?
I don't know, man. We also changed the number. Dude,
Yeah,
honestly,
you changed the number. You changed the number
yeah,
too.
we went to 1. Yeah, we went to 1.
What's the backstory there?
I just wanted something different, and just number 1 was something I always wanted to be with Sammy Swindell, a good sprint car driver. Wanted to be number 1 from him.
So why were you 16 for so long? I mean, on iRacing, you can be whatever fucking number you want.
No kidding. 16 was from my kart days. What happened was the car owner got a cart and he said, "Want to run it?" It was graphics, whatever. I said, "Sure." And sure enough, had number 16 on it. It was Randy Brown from down in Chowchilla, California, down south from us, and it was just a number that was given to me, and it just stuck. It's nothing sentimental or anything. My dad's number was 17, and he wanted me to be number 17, but we got 16 instead. So I guess it's close enough to 17.
Well, 16 plus 1 equals 17, so it all adds
Yeah.
up, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, we did that on purpose. It all adds up. Yep.
Totally planned.
Right.
So I feel like I've asked this a lot to people over the episodes that we've done, but I've got to ask. You start fifth. How are the nerves before the feature? Because I've never started this race. I don't know how was it for you? And everyone's different too. And you've raced in a
Yeah.
lot of big races. You've been in Pro Series. What were the
The,
nerves like
the
before it?
the nerves weren't as bad, like on the grid and whatever. The holes, the hole making and the practice, old good old blimp over there. Uh,
That have you start
it,
kind of
it
shaking?
no, it kind of got me laughing. Not gonna lie, me, Evan, and
Kind
I
of
think
loosened you up.
Jaeger. Yeah, it kind of loosened me up a little bit. Me,
Good.
Evan, Jaeger went over into 1 and 2 when we were doing the 1 and 2 stuff. We all backed into each other. Had a big old crater out of 2, but it ended up just flattening out. But it was fun for what we did. It was something different. I don't think anybody's made holes hosted style for a $6,000 to win race. So
There's only been 2 or 3 $6,000 to win races on iRacing
no,
anyways.
yeah.
How did you expect your race to go? Like before we get into how it actually went, how did you expect it to go? I mean, if I was to have asked you before the feature started, where are you expecting to run? What would you have said?
Top 5, maybe 7th, 8th, 9th, somewhere on there. Wrecked. I don't know.
You
It was
just
just
had no
more.
idea what to expect.
Yeah. Well, considering the testing we did, it was with Blake, Evan, Donaldson. I think Big H,
I
you,
was in there on
Kiefer.
some of them. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, we were competitive with Evan and Blake, and I knew they were gonna be up front for a little bit, so I thought we had like a decent shot starting 5th or 6th. I think 6th. I'm gonna go with 6th because I remember because 3rd on second prelim put me 6th. So
Oh, you were in the second
uh,
prelim?
yeah, I was in the
Yeah.
second prelim.
I'm sorry. You're right. Then you started sixth.
Oh, you're
This guy,
good.
I caught it from the start. I was just letting him fly with it.
Why didn't you
Yeah.
correct me?
Nah, I was just letting you fly with it. I was gonna let him correct you.
Horrible co-host.
Wow.
No, starting 6th, so we didn't really have any like expectations. And Tommy, we were joking around. We was like, oh, let's go. Whatever we get is what we get. It was a shock to like say the least. We were staying up front a little bit. 7th, 8th, whatever we were running, and I saw Herbert getting away, and everybody started moving up, and some of them were saving in front of me, and I was kind of chilling back there as well with the air that I was on, and I just said piss on it, and so we went tubbing around and forming
Yeah.
the fluff.
Well, I mean, that's what I was about to say. Like, I noticed it seemed like you started pushing around lap 25. Was it like part of the strategy, or did you just feel like it was
Nope.
time to go?
It was time to go. Either you're going to be the first one going backwards or the first one going forwards, and we chose to go forward instead of backwards, and it paid off at the end. We had a little tire malfunction at the end. I think it started to laminate the last 2 laps, but hey, it's what happens when we start pushing lap 23 or wherever we started pushing at an 100 lap race. So it was a gamble, and the gamble paid off. It paid off for once in my life, but hey, we walked out of it with $6,000 and a spring fling under our belt.
For sure. You raced super smart. I mean, I went back and watched, and I was even keeping an eye on you a little bit while I was spotting for Keith. You raced so smart. You hit your marks perfectly. You didn't get rattled by any of the cautions, which there was a fair amount of. What was the key to remaining composed despite everything that was thrown at you once you got the lead?
Just the real life aspect of it. The iRacing helps real life, and the iRacing or real life helps iRacing sometimes with the restarts and staying composed and just overall staying cool under yellows and trying to make them guess, I guess, for starts and restarts. And it kind of paid off. The last restart we tried something and it didn't work out that too well, but somehow ended up getting the lead back and ended up winning.
Yeah. Caution flies with 5 to go. What's going through your mind under pace laps, knowing that you got like a 4 or 5? Okay, he brought out the shades.
Yeah.
I wish I would have known. We could have done all 3, unless y'all just wanted to have your own little thing
No,
going
we're
on.
having our own thing.
Okay, that's fine.
No,
What's going through your mind under pace laps, knowing you got like a 4 or 5 lap shootout for $6,000?
just hope not to get wrecked, honestly. We were trying not to get wrecked, and obviously we didn't. thought we were, but um, this the way the race played out, it worked in our favor, and it's just overall, just I don't know how to explain it. It was just a uh, Cinderella story. David versus Goliath. I don't know what do you want to call it, but
I mean,
it was.
that's true. That literally is a segue to my next question. Was that nobody picked you to win? I mean, not the announcers, not my chat, no one. You said it last night, and you just said it just now. It was a Cinderella story, but at the end, you were the winner of the 17th annual Spring Fling. Did that give you a little bit of motivation, like that nobody was thinking of you, even though you were starting sixth?
Sometimes you just got to take the odds and, just throw them out the window because at the end of the day, it's just people's opinion, and sometimes the opinions are
That's right.
way wrong. And with all the drama going on in social media, it's just, it is what it is. Life goes on. It's a game.
Yep.
Get over it,
Yep.
I guess.
Yep. Yep. And like we talked about earlier with Tommy giving you a ticket, was there like a contribution, or are you splitting in the winnings, or like was there any preset deals before this? Like,
That's confidential information for
okay,
me and Tommy
okay,
purposes. We're trying to keep just keep it on a low, but no, we're definitely working something out to suit us both. So
absolutely.
hopefully, hopefully the car owner's happy that we walked out of it a winner, and yeah, we tore some equipment up coming into the stage, but it's okay. We got $6,000. We can fix it.
That's right. That's right. What was your initial reaction whenever you came across, or even coming out of four? It looked like you kind of fucked up on exit. Like, what were you?
We started screaming. We were just like, let's excuse my French here. We were just like, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit! It's just it just overcame with emotion coming off of four. We didn't even go to the checkered yet. If it happened out after the checkered, we would have been more alright. But we kind of wall tapped a little too hard coming to the checkered, and we about dumped it coming to the line. But
Thankfully,
that
Hayden
be
got into the wall as well behind you.
yeah, there was calamity behind me after smacking the wall, but that's okay. That's behind me. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But no, it was just I overcame emotion. It was more not sentimental to that, but it was more of like a holy shit, we just won a spring fling, and I had no expectations in winning or even podiuming. I was just more happy to do it for Tommy. Shout out Tommy. I hope he's watching, but
I'm sure he
you know,
is, or at least he will be. Yeah. I mean, and I was watching, like I said, as much as I could while I was spotting Kiefer, and Kiefer can vouch for this. I don't know, maybe 5 laps to go. I was like, holy shit, Joey's going to win this thing. Like, I said, that's
Yeah.
so fucking cool. If Joey wins this is going to be the greatest thing. Like, I was super rooting you on. And I'm honestly like, me and you, Joey, we give each other a lot of shit, but like,
yeah, yeah.
we've been competitors for a long time now, and I've always enjoyed racing against you, and being teammates again. It's even if you weren't teammates, it's super cool to see you win the
Yeah,
biggest race of the year. What are you gonna do with the 6K, man, or however much you
I don't
get out
know,
of the
man.
split? What's the plan?
I I don't know. Put it in a checking account or savings account, and just I don't know, save it for something. Spend it on the real car. Or I don't know.
Are you
Or
gonna
blow
go
it
to
out
the
of.
World
Take your
100?
girl. Go take a vacation.
What are you talking about, girl? I ain't got no girl. You see my
No,
room? We ain't got one.
Bro, he
go
just won the
find a girl
spring
on
fling. Do
vacation.
you think he has a girl?
No,
No, we got no life, dog. We just sat at our computer for 3 days straight testing. What are you
no,
talking
no, no.
about,
You go on
girl?
vacation to find a woman now.
Oh, we were gonna go to the world, but that's just out of the cards because like 2 days later we're going to a cabin up north, so
Uh,
it's just not in the cards. Hopefully next year we're gonna plan on it next year to go to the world. So hopefully we can
world's
see all the
crazy, man.
CFM. Yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully we can see all the CFM guys and have a good party. Hopefully not drink too much beer. I probably won't. I'll probably be a DD. So,
You're missing out because I'm bringing the smoker this year.
ooh,
I'm literally bringing the smoker in the back of my truck,
Oh,
and I'm gonna sit in the Eldora parking lot all day with a cooler smoking some meat.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that's
that's
gonna be
right.
great,
Yeah,
dude.
that's right.
That's right. That's right. Um, man, it's honestly, it's so cool that you won. I know I already said that, but it really is, and I'm super happy for you. What's next for Joey Lingron? You got. I know you race in real life. You actually just recently won, didn't you?
Yeah,
Was
at the beginning of August.
I don't. This doesn't come across as. I hope this doesn't come across as an
Here
insult.
it comes. Here it comes.
Um, I don't really keep up with your real life racing too much. Was that your first win? That wasn't your first win, was it?
No,
Okay.
no,
His dad,
I meant like in
his
those
first one was
cars.
actually a lot cooler. His
the
first
first,
one,
the first one
his dad was
was
announcing. I don't know if you ever saw that.
no. My dad announces all the races at Petaluma.
Okay.
Man, he's the announcer.
Oh, so
Oh,
He even
this.
announced the last one.
Okay, so
Yeah,
okay,
the
my
first
that
one
seems a
that you
little
won.
bit sus. I feel like there's
yeah, no,
a
the first pin. Yeah, no,
conflict
the
of
first
interest
one.
there.
The first one went on 357 World of Dirt. We kind
Yeah,
of went viral after 2
I
years. I
remember
think it
that.
was in 2021 or wherever it was, and
yeah.
it went viral like what a year ago. I don't know. I don't know when it was, but
But
It's cool.
regardless, you race in real life. I'm sure you got some races coming up, and I know you're
yeah.
a sprint car main. There's possibility of a pro series coming up. I don't know if
Oh,
it's going to be
Jesus,
sprints,
here we
late
go.
models,
This Pro
both.
Series stuff again. I
What's the
tell you,
plan? What's the plan? Like, are
there's
you going back
plan.
to full
We're
focus sprints or what?
no, it's, the late models are more fun. You get more. It's just more competition, I guess, in late models. All the pro guys for sprint cars have shipped out, and went on to do bigger and better things, I guess. Uh, it's just there's no really competition, I guess. It sounds very cocky, I know, but it's just we could barely go official for sprint cars and supers. Last hour I had like 60 people signed up for it, so it's
Yeah,
like go where the people are. It's just overall more people to race against. And just the sprint car side is just slowly depleting out of iRacing completely. I will say.
good.
It's sad.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Good. Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So what you got? What you got coming up in the real racing world?
I think we got 3 weeks off, local track. We got Marysville Nationals, which is like a 3-day show, like 120 cars show up to it across, Colorado, Nevada, Arizona, whatever. They all come up into a little town where a titty bar is halfway down, half mile down the road. Uh, it's just they all come. We have parties. Yeah, we got that, and then we got our last points race, which we're 5 behind on that, so hopefully we can win us a championship.
Absolutely.
But that's the main goal. If we don't, we don't. It'll top my last season's 4th place, I think. Yeah, 4th.
Hey,
Yeah.
I
That's
hope you win
great.
it, man. I hope you get it done. I mean, you
Oh,
got it done in the spring fling. Kiefer, do you have anything else for Joey?
nah, man, it's nice talking to you again.
Oh yeah,
I remember when you first started being a weasel in the late models.
the Weedle, yeah, little
Yeah.
gummy goblin action too. Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember watching you come up the ranks. It was cool, even like when Nathan is saying it, just like sitting back there, like just hearing you were gonna win it was like really cool to me.
Yeah.
Just I was not just like I was a part of your kind of not for a long time, and then just I watched it ever since then,
yeah.
and I've
In
seen you
20,
like grow through the ranks, and it's really cool to see.
no, 2022, we went late model racing for a couple months. Went back to sprint cars, and now we're back to late models. And
Yeah, you won a lot of stuff in the late models back then too. Like you weren't like
yeah,
Yeah,
it
you
wasn't a
were not a
surprise to me
slouch. I
for
mean,
just you.
you were just as competitive as anybody.
Yeah,
yeah,
you
I
were
feel
just
very
more
more.
relaxed.
Yeah, no, I felt very competitive. I feel more competitive now than I do like it was 2022. So
Oh, you
2 years.
definitely are. But even back then, you were still very, very good. It's just you've gotten so much better over time.
Also have matured a little bit.
Mm.
Just a little smidge of it.
Just a
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
like the
yeah,
slightest bit. If I pull up the group
yeah.
chat, there's evidence
Ooh,
otherwise.
ooh.
But
Whoa, whoa, whoa. We don't bring up group chats,
well,
brother.
I didn't say
That's
anything. I didn't say any specifics. I didn't say any specifics.
whoa, whoa,
Whoa, whoa,
whoa,
whoa,
Whoa,
whoa!
whoa. All right. Well,
Gotta get
whoa.
if that's all Kiefer's got for you, that's all I've got for you, Joey. Man, once again, congratulations on winning the
Thank you,
17th
thank you.
annual Spring Fling, dude.
Yeah.
It's an awesome deal to see. Um, not to sound negative, but it's cool to see someone new win it. You know, Evan and Blake have won the past 3 years. and it's really cool to see someone new in it, and someone that I respect as much as you is really cool. If you want, now's your time to thank any sponsors.
Oh God, you're gonna put me on the spot here. I don't even know all the sponsors, man. I got Blake, Evan, everybody at CFM for giving the opportunity to run for them and everything they did the whole week leading up to it. They put a lot of laps and a lot of effort and time and just everything together to make the setup ups the way they were and quick no matter what. And just gotta thank all of them. John Darby for the rap again. I'm not gonna say Don Jarby like I did in the prelim, but John Darby.
That's his alter
um,
ego.
yeah, it's Don. Yeah, alter ego, right? Blimp, Calavoda, Howard, Selena 52, his Jugman. What
Are
else
you
we got?
thanking my
Joey
sponsors for
Linger.
me?
Well, no, we got a little something in the works. Five
Oh,
car might get kicked. My 5 car might get kicked off.
I already know I'm
Selena.
kicked off, brother. I already know. We done took that
No,
rap off.
no. Howard, everybody at VLR to put it on. It was an amazing event to be a part of for the first time. First VLR event. So we had to make it a big one if it was the first one. So now thank you guys for having me on. It's been a pleasure, and now we're gonna go back to official racing. So
Hey, now you gotta back it up next year.
That's right. You're
I'll
one for
wait.
one. Better make it two
Guys,
for two.
hey
Better
man,
make.
we might do a one. I might do a one and done and just be in the spotter stand next year.
I mean, I
This
would.
guy.
I would run it personally, but listen, Joey. Like we said,
Personally, yeah.
thank you for coming on, man. Congratulations again on winning the biggest race of the year.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been a pleasure to be on here for the second time. Hopefully, y'all appreciated that ass kicking on the on Tuesday. So, yeah, we'll see you guys down the road. See everybody on the official side. If you hate me, you hate me. If you love me, you love me. Hey, it is what it is.
That's right. Joey
Yeah,
Lingron,
that's right.
everybody. Appreciate you, man. All right. That was your winner of the 17th annual VLR Spring Fling. Wow, man. Joey Lingron, the winner, dude. It's so cool, man. Yeah, the Spring Fling is over. That's a wrap on
It
the
is
Spring
over.
Fling, man.
Till next year. Hopefully
Yep.
next year's in the spring.
Hopefully it's actually in the spring. I hope it's a little on the early side in spring, personally. But anyways, um, yeah, we got the World 100 coming up next weekend. Super excited for that. I'll be going to that for the first time ever, going to Eldora. I'm really looking forward to that. VLR announced they're running a UMP series for a lot of money. Not sure how much money, but a lot of money. 4 or 6 race schedule. UMPs. I'm excited for that. Are you gonna run it?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I got to see the release. I don't know
The
how that all
schedule
works.
and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might have to see if we can get a little bit of the Plum Wild podcast bank account to sponsor some of that. Maybe we can get some calls go our way.
Oh yes, that's what we need. That's what
Oh,
we got to do, guys. If you need some better calls,
you got to just give them some money, honestly, and just
yeah,
call it sponsorship. Yeah, and then you're racing this weekend, aren't you?
I am. I got a big weekend.
Big weekend. Tell us
Big
about it.
weekend. Twin 2500s Friday and Saturday, and a 5K to win Sunday night at Spoon River Speedway for Plowboy Nationals.
How are you feeling?
I'm ready for it. I think the car is really good. I got a lot of work to do. That's the only bad thing still. Got a wrap to put on it. And then I'm a few more geometry adjustments on it. And I think that car felt really, really good when we took it out Saturday night. Um, just needed a few more tweaks on it to be perfect in my eyes and just get more. We learned some more situations, and I'm really excited for it. Hopefully we can get redemption for last year. It choked it last year, but we're gonna try like hell this year.
Hell yeah, man. Well, do you have anything else that you want to talk about before we end off the post race show?
Nah, man, I'm gonna be off iRacing till I see an announcement for a little bit. At least I need a little break. I'm gonna go back on NCAA for a few days.
Go back into retirement, huh?
For a few days.
Hey, the grind never stops for me, man. The grind never stops. Well, if that's all you got, Kiefer, that'll do it for this episode of the Plum Wild Podcast. We want to give a big shout out to all the sponsors that sponsored this year's Spring Fling. You got Schaefer's Racing Oil, of course, the big one. Cruise Pedregon Esports, Majula C Speed Shop, Cody Williams Design, Solana Truck Stop, Hunter Gaines Racing, Sweet Victory, us over at the Plum Wild Podcast, Kigo with the Spring Madness sim racing events, iRacing Dirt Memes, Leo's Roofing Service, Cosmic Dougal Gaming, Premier Racing Setups. Thanks to everyone that plays a part in these huge events for that VLR puts on. I mean, it's so cool that we can race for $6,000. Turn around, hopefully, sometime in the future at the Fall Frenzy race for $4,000. This big VLR UMP series, the birthday bash, all these big races. It takes a lot to put them together, and we want to thank everybody. Thank you all for tuning in to this episode of the Plum Wild Podcast. We'll see you right back here in the next one.
Deuces.
Deuces.